Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jamie Lee, and I'm joined by my husband, Mr. Jared Lee. Hello, Jared.
Hello.
Well, here's my question for this Universal episode, Mister.
Okay.
Which Harry Potter movie is your favorite? You've seen all of them, yes?
Yeah, I've seen all. That's a good question. I wasn't expecting that question.
I know, you're never expecting them, and that is the point.
Probably The Prisoner of Azkaban.
God, that's a good one.
Like, first off, I love Gary Oldman, and the Sirius Black was a great character, so that's probably my favorite. I feel like that was the one where it kind of went from being they were like kiddie movies to like it was like, oh, this is like okay, they're like, this is a real thing. Like they're adults now, considered adults almost.
Yeah. Yes, Prisoner of Azkaban is like probably my favorite. I do like Goblet of Fire because of, at the time when it came out.
Goblet of Fire's good.
Robert Pattinson, he was in it. He was like, he was Edward.
He was
from Twilight. He was in this.
He was a sparkly big deal.
Sparkly. But no, like that marked the first time we saw Voldemort in form. And that was like the first time where he's like, he's back. And like that kind of set up like the last half of the movies.
Right.
So I kind of like that was like a penultimate movie in that way for the next half.
Yeah. It was like that same too, where it was like kind of dark.
It was pretty dark. Well, they're all really dark.
Yeah.
The first one wasn't as dark. The first one was just setting the story up, but also you can tell the different directing styles by who is directing the movie, because the first two were directed by Christopher Columbus,
who did Home Alone,
and the third one was, and I cannot remember his name, but he has like a darker tone to his movies. I think he's Spanish or he's Latin. I think his name was Alfonso Cuarón or something like that.
Okay.
Cuarón. But he has like a darker tone, and I think that really it fared well for that movie. And Prisoner of Azkaban has time travel.
It does.
And that is really appealing to me.
It does have time travel. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good question. I wasn't expecting it, but
thank you. Well, thank you for giving me your opinion. I happen to agree.
I guess I will ask you a question, just because it made me think of it.
Okay.
Who would now? I guess I wouldn't be leading man, but like, who would be your favorite actor? Like when he's in a movie, you're like, oh, okay, I want to check that movie out. Like I guess it could be leading man, because I'll just tell you mine. For me, it's Gary Oldman. Like I love Gary Oldman. Like, and he's not always in a starring role, but if I'm like, if Gary Oldman's in the movie, I'm at least intrigued because he's a fantastic actor. Like I mean, I'm sure there's some stuff here and there he hasn't been great in, maybe, but I mean, in Batman, he played a great Gordon. Obviously, he was in one movie in Harry Potter. I feel a lot of people loved how he played Sirius Black.
Yeah.
He's been a lot of stuff. He's one outside of like a main, giant movie star where I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna check out the movie that he's in.
That's a great question. I was gonna say, well, I do like Henry Cavill. I think he's a great actor.
Well,
he's very appealing.
He's no arguments for me.
Right? No arguments over there.
I'm accused of having a man crush on Henry Cavill.
You do.
I didn't. You'll always notice me saying I'm not denying it. I'm just saying I've been accused of it.
It used to be Harrison Ford. Back in the 90s, 2000s. Like anything that he was in, I was like, oh, let's go see it.
He's such a crotchety old man now. Well, he's always kind of been.
He's a decent actor.
The thing is, when Harrison Ford is really into a movie, he's like really good. Yeah. But if he doesn't care, he's like, give me my paycheck.
What have you seen that one movie called Trap? Like the trailer for it. It's got Josh Hartnett, which, hi Josh Hartnett, where you been? But he plays.
Oh yeah.
He's going to a concert, like he bringing a daughter to a concert, and it's like they're trapped.
I think it's like he's a serial killer.
Sorry, thank you.
I think it's that he's a serial killer, and the police or whoever have set a trap to try. They don't know who he is, but they know, like, I think they've done, like a background. They know what the guy's like, and they're setting a trap to get him. So like they're after him. They don't know what he looks like and stuff. I think that's the premise of that movie, which does seem interesting.
But It's an M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
It's not. It's always going to be something you think it is, and it's never. It's not that. So I don't know.
I
Is he
kinda
going
wish
to
he would
pull a
just-
bait and switch?
I wish you'd just do a movie that wasn't that way because I feel like it's just like, oh, you're always waiting for something with him. But
I know. Well, that's what you established. But anyway, so thank you for answering my question about the Harry Potter movies.
that's been movie talk.
Yeah. Well, actually, we're going to discuss a couple things this episode about. One is Harry Potter. It's Hogwarts Always show that started last month over in Islands of Adventure. And we're going to talk about the Mega Movie Parade, which we saw 2 weeks ago. I don't even know what day it is. Week and a half ago. So we're going to talk about that. And then we have a lot of news we want to discuss. But first we want to mention some housekeeping. And you should check out Club 32.
Well, yeah, if you want more content, if you want to, contribute to the show, just want extra things, you can look at Club 32. That's like our own little Patreon that we just host on our own end. And there we have live stream. We have Cool Kids Kitchen, which is a once a month cooking live stream. We have the Club 32 show, which is every Tuesday where we hang out and chat with everybody in there. We have live streams from like hotels. We did one from Grand Floridian. Lots of extra stuff, music loops, 25% off of CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products. You can start the Clubhouse show and all sorts of things. So if you have a private Facebook group and everything like that. So again, you can go check out there. You can go to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options. But yeah, so you can even do a free trial, or if you do a year-long one, you get a free t-shirt. So either way, you get something for free if you'd like. And so it's a way to contribute to the show, get more content. We can, we kind of share more in Club 32. It's a smaller little community. We have meetups and stuff as well. So if you want to check it out again, ctmvip.com. And if you'd like to join, we'd love to have you.
And also don't forget, we're on YouTube. So if you're just listening, you can also watch us.
If you'd like.
If you want
can
to.
do that. Yeah, you can do it over at CTM Podcast on YouTube. So if you're watching there, like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening just on the good old trusty old-fashioned podcast.
Good old trusty.
Just sitting around the living room with everybody huddled around. You can also listen to us that way on whatever platform you like. We just ask, please, subscribe and leave us a review. We'd greatly appreciate that. And yeah.
Awesome.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, let's start with some news today, Jared.
No.
Yes.
I just want to say no.
I know. Okay. So the first news story we're going to talk about is that the 9th Scare House has been announced for Halloween Horror Nights 33.
It has indeed. And it is Insidious, the Further. Not the Father, but the Further. It says, don't get trapped in the Further as terrifying demons try to ensnare you. Enter the red-faced demon's lair behind the red door and try to keep away from Keyface. I always do. So he can't lock up your spirit. That key-faced guy is always trying to do that. I don't know anything about these movies, so it sounds scary.
So, yes, Insidious is like a franchise, and The Further is supposed to come out soon. Like, it's
So
a
you said
movie.
the Further is coming sooner?
The Further is further from coming soon. I don't know.
Is it closer? You mean the Further is closer?
This is confusing me. So they did this. I think they do this every year. There's always like a movie that's coming out around the fall time, and they make a house about it to promote the movie. Like last year it was The Exorcist, and this year it seems to be Insidious.
They also did Chucky because they had that show.
Yeah, they did Chucky too.
I didn't care for Chucky's house last year at all.
I have never seen Insidious or any of the movies. So if I have to skip a house this year, it may be this one, because based on what I've just seen about like what it's about, I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm looking with. I am not a fan of demons. Like when it comes to scary things, I don't like messing with demons.
I thought you meant just in general.
I don't like demons in general.
Yeah, in general, I'm very anti-demon. I just want to put it out there.
I'm anti-demon.
CTM as a platform, we're very anti-demon. I just want to put that out there in case you were listening and you're like, I wonder if these people are pro-demon.
I'm coming out here to say that I just got to be honest with you. I am anti-demon.
Okay, well, it's good to set that tone.
It is, but
I imagine one person goes, I'm done with this.
Right. But yeah, so I don't know much about it, and if I had to pick one house I wasn't going to do this year, it may be this one. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so we got some information about that.
Don't you start doubting yourself already?
Well, I'm just thinking if I have to pick a house to not do it, this could be a contender.
I know, but don't start doubting yourself.
I'm not doubting myself. I'm just saying if I had to choose.
I mean, so we will be going to Halloween Horror Nights this year together.
Together forever.
And so I think we bring, there's obviously, I know there's channels and people that talk about Halloween Horror Nights that are super into the horror genre. Mm-hmm. We are not that. We're much more your typical theme park goer that is going. You've gone for the past 4 years Halloween Horror Nights, or
this
3?
Will be my 21, 22, 23. This will be my 4th year.
Okay, this will be my 2nd. So
okay,
we enjoy Halloween. We enjoy the fall, and it's actually a lot of fun. I went last year for the first time, so we bring a different, I guess, perspective to it. But we will try them all and give our honest review. And we're not going to act like I'm not a fan of the horror genre. It's just not my thing.
Right.
But I still think Halloween Horror Nights was a lot of fun.
Speaking of Halloween Horror Nights, we have some ticket packages, multi-night tickets, and add-ons are now on sale, and we're going to talk about them right now.
Yes. All right. So there's got some few here to go through. So we have the Rush of Fear Pass. One thing I would say about Universal, they always have so many different ticket options, which I like, but at the same time, when we're on a show talking about them, I'm like, okay, here we go. Like it's always a lot, but they do give you a lot of options. So first one is Rush of Fear Pass. This starts at $180 per person, and all event nights from August 30th through September 22nd.
So that's 18 event nights, I believe. So 18 times you can go for $180.
Yep. Then we have the Frequent Fear Pass, and this one starts at $240 per person, up to 30 nights. And this is all Sunday through Thursday nights and the first weekend. Then we have the Frequent Fear Plus Pass, starts at $290 per person, up to 40 nights, all Sunday through Friday nights, and the first and last Saturday night.
That's not confusing at all.
Not at all. And then we have the Ultimate Frequent Fear Pass. This one starts at $400 per person, all nights, and free parking after 5 p.m. are included. And it says all Frequent Fear type passes with the add-on Express passes are currently sold out, though. So you can still add the Express Pass onto the Rush of Fear Pass as of right now, though. But
those sold out really fast. So when did these go on sale? Was it Thursday?
I think it was Thursday.
Last Thursday?
Because by the mid-afternoon, they were already sold out.
By 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the Frequent Fear Plus and Ultimate Frequent Fear Pass, both with Express, were sold out. Frequent Fear was still available, and Rush of Fear is still available with Express. But as of now, Frequent Fear has now been sold out. And it's weird because you can get it with or without Express, but obviously the most popular option is to do with Express.
Right.
Now, I want to put this in perspective for you. The Ultimate Frequent Fear Pass, which is the one that starts at $400 per person, you can go every night if you want to. If you added on the Express Pass to that pass, it would cost you $1,069.
It's a lot of money.
I mean, that's also a lot of nights to go.
Yeah.
If you're like a local and you want to go like twice a week or even more, like if you're just really, really into this, then it may be worth it to you.
Yeah.
The Rush of Fear Pass, though, like starting at $180 per person. If you're okay with going up until September 22nd, can't go at all in October, and you don't want to get the Express, that's still like a really good deal.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're into this, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of people that were not happy about this.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, there was a lot of people mad. Now, I guess some of the debate comes into, did they sell less of the ticket? Are they going to reintroduce these? Nobody knows the answer to it. I mean, it's very possible that, Halloween Horror Nights is becoming increasingly more and more popular, as is Universal Studios. Mm-hmm. So it could just be that it has become that popular where there are enough people that wanted to do this. They also could have limited the amount they sell because I think they're trying to do a balancing act of having it where, like, again, like we talk about with just general theme parks, you want even the people who don't get your Express Pass or your Fast Passes and things like that, you want them to still have an enjoyable time because they're paying money to go. Mm-hmm. So you don't want them staying in lines for 4 hours at a time and just being like miserable. So I feel like they're trying to strike this balancing act. So it's possible they did limit those because it's just like, okay, we're not going to have as many of those people, and then we're going to, maybe make it hopefully where people are able to do more per thing. But I mean, we'll probably never know, but as of right now, though, they are sold out.
If I had to assume, it's just the ones with the Express add-on. The other packages, the other regular with no Express, are still available.
So it could be that
which lends me to they are limiting Express.
It's very possible.
Because I don't know. I mean, this will be the 4th year that I go, and I'm just telling you right now, like, it was to the point where Express Pass was almost as long as the standby. But it would move faster because they were ushering people through because they had Express. So if you oversell that or you sell too many of that, then you don't have the appearance of like actually needing it. I think that, I don't know, I know they like to sell Express, but they also like to sell single night tickets. So if you don't have any of these frequent fear option passes, then you're going to have to go with a single pass, or you just don't go as much. I don't know. Like it's about, like you said, it's a balancing act between making money and like making sure it's not completely overrun with people.
Yeah. I do understand on some level if they did limit that, which does make sense that they're wanting, to even out that experience. So I get it on some level, but yeah, as of right now though, some people think they could reintroduce it. They could. I mean, day of, they might, but it's going to be really expensive.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a couple other options that they just released on Thursday as well.
Yes. So they have the Scream Early ticket, and this is $55, it starts at $55, and gets you into the park at 3 p.m., and you enter the Stay and Scream area by 5. Yeah,
so this is good for you if you don't have a day ticket and you want to get into the park early and be like one of the first people to be able to go through the houses. This is pretty essential to have. Otherwise, you'll have to enter the park at 6:30, and then you have precious time that you've wasted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I like that. I like that option.
Yeah. Then there is the Stay, Scream, and Save package, and can save you up to $200. That includes hotel, daytime theme park tickets, and Halloween Horror Night tickets as well. Mm-hmm. So those are packages. A lot of people end up doing that.
Yeah.
That come for Halloween Horror Nights. Then you have the Florida Residence 2-night hotel and ticket package. You have the Stay and Scream, which is just a 1-night hotel stay and 1-night event ticket. So this is not the Stay, Scream, and Save. This is just the Stay and Scream. Mm-hmm. So again, a lot of ticket options. So we'll have all this in the show notes, and you can check it out on their website as well. But there are a lot of different options here. And then there's the Florida Residents can save up to 40% off at Cabana Bay hotel stays, and annual pass holders can save up to 40% off at Cabana Bay, get discounts on single event tickets, premieres, get free admission on select nights, and there is a pass holder version on the Stay and Scream hotel and ticket package as well.
And there is also a 20% off a 4-night stay at the hotels if you are not a pass holder or Florida resident. So that's something to think about if you're wanting to come longer than just the night.
Yes.
Yep.
And then there's also previous special packages and tickets that have been on sale for a while are the RIP tours, the Behind the Screams, Unmasking the Horror tours, single night tickets, and Express Pass. So yeah, that's all the ticket options. So a lot to choose from if you're looking to go, but it does give you a lot of options. So I think they're trying to hit a lot of different, price points for different people that want to go.
Yeah, and if you have a strategy, you're smart about it, you start early and you stay until the very end, you can hit all 10 houses. It is possible.
Yeah, we'll do an episode where we talk about tips of really how to get the most out of Halloween Horror Nights. I think a whole episode would be worth it for that. But for sure, getting there as early as you can. Because I can tell you last year, I went with some friends and that one of them wasn't able to get or didn't have the get an early part. So we didn't get in early, and we were severely limited on what we could get done.
Yeah.
We got 3 houses done in the entire night, and it was busy the whole time. So
it's crazy. That is crazy. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is that the Halloween Horror Nights Tribute Store pass holder preview date is Wednesday, August 28th at 11 a.m. And I'm assuming that it's going to open to the public the next day on Thursday, the 29th, because the first day of the Halloween Horror Nights event is on the 30th.
I would assume that would be accurate.
Yep. And this one is in the New York section. So there's basically 2 locations that they have tribute stores now. So there's one in New York and one in Hollywood.
I like that, though, because there's not as much downtime in between them.
True.
So they can kind of go back and forth. So
yeah. I like it. And then also dates for holidays at Universal Orlando have been announced.
They have. It's going to be November 22nd through December 31st. And we will see returning favorites like Universal's Holiday Parade featuring Macy's, The Magic of Christmas at Hogwarts Castle Projection Show, Grinchmas Hula Day Spectacular, and the Grinch and Friends Character Breakfast as well. And there will be more details announced at a later date, but this is like the mid-year. Here's the dates. Here's what's coming for Christmas. And I don't know if it's being in a Florida thing. I really don't. But like once 4th of July hits, I know people joked about it, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm ready for fall. Like I'm talking about Halloween. Like maybe it's because it's just so hot.
Well, there's no holidays in August. You know
I've
what
never
I mean?
liked, I used to hate January. I used to hate January and February, and I hated August. Because August was always the dreaded month before you go back to school. And there's just
you go back to school in August now.
Right. And there's just nothing going on in August, really. It was just a very, like, month. But now I love January and February because where we live, it's like great weather.
Yeah, it's great.
So the only month I really look at on the calendar now, I'm like, August.
It's August.
Like, it's just.
Yep. It's
just
the weather. It's, you're right.
Yeah, there's just not a lot. Like, you're close, but you're so far away from like football and the fall and Christmas. It's just, yeah. But
the cooler weather.
To say all that, cooler weather is kind of close.
It's on its way.
Closer than it was.
Yeah. And also something to note about these dates. I'm shocked that it's starting so late.
They started late last year too, though.
They started like the 17th. I want to say 17th.
But
last year.
Thanksgiving is a later time this year too.
So Thanksgiving is November 28th.
Yeah.
So I guess traditionally they're just going to start the week before Thanksgiving.
It could be they could be how they do that.
But that really shortens their holiday, season, because then it's only like a month and a week. It's 5 weeks. Whereas last year or 2 years ago, it was like 7 weeks long.
It's definitely not very long.
I don't know. It's crazy. It kind of messed up my plans because we'll be there the weekend before that. But whatever.
We can act like it's Christmas time there.
Okay.
But look at all the floats, and people just stare at us like we're weirdos.
But it's so fun. I love Christmas at Universal. So
I've grown, like we've taught, obviously we have the Disney show, like Disney at Christmas is a lot of fun on Main Street and stuff. But I've come to really enjoy Christmas at Universal. Like it's different, but at the same time, it's kind of more of like I'm trying to think of the way I would describe it. It's not as old timey feeling, but it has a nice, like, it reminds me of like Miracle on 34th Street at times.
Yeah.
Like just got that. I don't know. I like it. And I love Christmas. So
I love Christmas.
I love Christmas.
Okay. The last of the news. This is exciting. Shrek 5 is coming to theaters July 1st, 2026.
So I've been saying that this is probably going to happen for a while. And then it makes a lot of sense seeing DreamWorks Land have Shrek stuff in it as well, because like why would you put this old IP that seemingly hasn't had a movie out for a while? But yeah, so it was announced. So the original cast is returning. So you got Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, and Eddie Murphy. And the other movies are, you had Shrek that was in 2001, Shrek 2 was in 2004, Shrek the Third that was 2007, Shrek Forever After was 2010. And there's also 2 Puss in Boots movies that are spinoff from those, which the latest Puss in Boots movie was really good. So I think Shrek 2 was a fantastic movie. So they've been good. Some have been better than others, but it's obviously a pretty successful franchise given there's going to be 5 of them.
And obviously so popular, they just put Shrek into DreamWorks Land that just opened. So obviously they're going to use that.
I wondered if they did that at first, if they, without knowing if this movie was coming out, because that Donkey and Shrek meet and greet was so popular. That was something that even when Shrek 4D was there, nobody really did that, but they would go do the meet and greet over there. But it does make sense that they would have this in here. So yeah, it'll be directed by Walt Dorm. I think it's a Dorm.
I think so.
He recently directed Trolls World Tour, Trolls Band Together. He was also a writer for Shrek 2, 3, and 4. And one of the producers is Chris
Melandandri.
Melandandri. He's the guy that runs Illuminations.
He's the CEO.
And he has been trying to revive this franchise for like 6 years, something like that.
For a while.
So it
should be good.
Yeah. But I mean, Universal with Illuminations and DreamWorks as well has been doing pretty good. I think they've been doing great on the animation front. I mean, I think Illuminations has done much better than DreamWorks, but DreamWorks has been solid, especially with like Trolls and Kung Fu Panda 4 made money. It wasn't a huge success, but it did make money.
Okay. Very nice.
That's one thing about their movies is they're like Mario Brothers cost them like $90 to $100 million. So they're able to make these movies that aren't insanely expensive. So even if they
Right.
only make 500 million, 600 million at the box office, they still make money.
It's true.
So
One other thing I want to mention before we move on to the next thing is that the beat builders that are in Universal Studios, they're the ones that do like the construction workers that have like the drums and the bells and, do all that stuff. Their area is getting, refurbed or whatever. So they moved into City Walk. So if you love them, they're going to be performing right outside of the Epic Universe preview center.
okay,
So, just FYI on that. Just a little.
that's an
programming
interesting thing to
update.
give like people stuff to listen to out there.
Yeah, should
Okay.
walk by.
Okay.
All right, so that is it for the news. We're gonna move on to the next part. This is our Epic Universe section. We're just gonna name it that. From now on, whenever we want to do a middle section of our show, we're just gonna call it the Epic Universe section or Epic Universe updates. And this is where Jared just talked about Epic Universe. What's going on with Epic Universe, Jared? What do we got?
What's the deal?
What's the deal with Epic Universe?
There's always something coming along. What we talked about last time, I think the opening of this is coming much quicker than people anticipate. Mm-hmm. So again, I'm gonna go out and say my guess is March of 2025 is when it officially opens. But I think AP previews.
That's a great time. I think I said that.
You did, and I've also heard some other things. Like I had said for a while, it was like March, April, May area. Mm-hmm. But I think from what I'm hearing, AP previews could start sooner than people think as well. So we'll see. Construction's moving along very quick. I mean, the latest construction photos, like it's getting close to being done, like very close. The entrance Kronos is there. There's now a forest in the entrance area.
A forest?
Like literally just trees everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been seeing them put more trees in.
Yeah, but the big rumor hubbub out there was about the Epic Universe ticket situation. So this was something that people have been talking about because everyone's, wanting to know more information. And I think pricing and all this stuff is getting ready to probably, I think we both had talked about, I think they're going to release all this official information right around the time that D23 is, if I were to guess.
It's impossible, yeah.
I think Disney may come out and say, here's what we're going to do. And then Epic Universe goes, cool beans. Here's what we're doing. And you can come here in like less than 6 months. That'd be my guess.
That would be smart of them.
That's what I would do. So, so the rumor out there was Universal had released ticketing information to third-party sellers and basically saying that you would not be able to access Epic Universe with a one-day ticket to start. So basically, it would start at like a 3-day ticket package, and you would have access to Universal Studios Talented Adventure Volcano Bay, and then 1 day at Epic Universe. So 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, whatever it is, all of those would include 1 day at Epic Universe, including like 14-day international travel, only having 1 day at Epic Universe.
Oh, that's crazy.
So that was the rumor that was out there. Well, Universal did come out and make an official statement. And one of the reasons I think they did that was you have a lot of APs as well that are basically like, hey, what about us? What is there going to be anything like, is there access for annual pass holders? Because as of now, there has been nothing in terms of our annual pass holders going to be able to access the park and all that stuff like that. Universal came out and made an official statement. The Vice President of Public Relations, Allison Sologastia, I probably butchered that. I apologize. But the Public Relations Vice President came out and made a statement, and she said, quote, "We are introducing products in a phased approach, starting with multi-day ticket packages that include an opportunity to visit Epic Universe in addition to the entire Universal Orlando Resort for those planning vacations further out." She also said among additional options to come are those for annual pass holders. And then she said at the very end here, we plan to offer a range of ticket products to help manage the expected demand for Epic Universe and to ensure all guests visiting have a great experience at this groundbreaking park. So Universal basically came out and said, like, yes, these rumors are true, but before people start freaking out, because I've been doing some of these videos over on the main YouTube channel, and some people are really mad, and some people are already talking about changing vacation plans. I would just say this. We don't know what this phased approach looks like. They haven't given any details. We don't have anything about pricing. So this could just be a short-term thing, and then what they're going to do, it is going to be short-term, then they will open it up to other ticket options, very likely or possibly for opening day as well, or opening week. They're just starting with these first, which I will say, I don't have to necessarily like it in terms of like me personally. Now, I don't know how it's going to affect us with annual pass holders. We have no clue, but the rumor is out there that annual pass holders will have previews for a couple of months. So if that is the case and they do this approach and maybe annual pass holders don't have as many options, I don't think they're going to completely block out annual pass holders on opening day per se. But I feel like annual pass holders would be a little bit better with it if they got, a couple of months of early access to Epic Universe. But what they're doing is they're just prioritizing the people that are willing. They're going to spend 3, 5, 6 days at Universal Studios and opening it up to them first, which from a business standpoint, I understand. Those are people they are going to spend more money than people that are going for 1 day and or annual pass holders. They just are. So I understand it from a business standpoint, and they have the leverage in this situation. They have the demand. Seemingly, we don't really know where the demand is because nothing has been sold yet, but it would seem that there is a lot of demand for this out there. And I think this is their way of controlling the crowds. These are going to be date-based tickets as well. That's the other rumor, and I think that's basically been confirmed.
Okay.
I don't think they want anything to do with the park reservation system because that's one of the things that people have started really liking about Universal is the lack of that. So I think this is their way of trying to manage these crowds, spreading it out a little bit, and then there will be other options available. We just don't know what those will look like. But I understand it from a business standpoint and they have a high demand for this, and they also don't want people going to the park and having a terrible time. If you go and you're waiting 4 hours for everything, you can't get anything done, people are going to walk away being like, oh, I didn't have any fun. I couldn't do anything. So at the same time, while you may limit some people out, the people that get to go are also going to come back and say, oh, it was great. I got to do X, Y, and Z. It was so much fun. So I understand it from a business standpoint. I think some people may be left out for a period of time, but I think as it goes on, there'll be more options and things like that. So I'm not going to make any judgments about this until Universal actually comes out and says something officially about how this is going to set up. So I think they may have been putting out some feelers to see how people would react to this in some way. So I don't make any judgments, don't make any trip-altering plans as of yet. I would just wait and see what Universal announces. I will just say, historically speaking, they do pretty well by the APs. I think they're going to try and balance those out and see what they can come up with. But as of right now, there's no details. It's just we do know that they're going to tier this, and it's going to be set up that way at least to start. So.
All right.
That is the latest there.
All right. Well, that was it for our Epic Universe update this week. We're going to move on to talk about the Mega Movie Parade, the latest parade from Universal Studios Florida.
Yes. So this is the first daytime parade at Universal Studios since the Superstar Parade closed in 2022.
And that was pretty cute. There were some floats though that were kind of like dated. They could have been like, I need to retire this.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. So, this parade celebrates beloved movie franchises under the Universal umbrella, much like the nighttime show as well. What's it called again? I almost said Symphony, the Story of Us. That's not Sensational.
Right at all. Sensational, the Symphony of Us.
Yes, I was thinking it's Symphony, and I'm like, sorry, Sensational. Yep. So. Same thing there. So the franchises featured in the parade are E.T., Jaws, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Trolls, Sing, Minions, and Kung Fu Panda.
And there are 13 floats and over 100 performers.
Yeah, and technically, it was supposed to premiere last week. Technically, it is still in technical rehearsals, which wasn't supposed to be the case. But I don't know what that will mean once it's not in rehearsals anymore to compare to what it is now. So I suppose the parade could change a little bit between now and then.
I don't know. I think they throw that term out there as more of just like a soft opening. Like if it doesn't go well for like a few weeks, then we're just going to blame it on that.
I mean, it's possible.
Like a soft opening.
I always going to put it out there. It could change before whenever it's like officially open. But
sure.
We did get to see this, and we saw it in the evening a little bit, which was nice because it was a very hot day we were there. And we saw, what time was the parade when we saw it?
So the parade is going to run at 6 o'clock until September 2nd, and then it moves to 2 or 3.
Which I would say in the middle of the summer, 6 o'clock is better than 3. Because when I first heard a daytime parade, I was like, oh, man. But 6 o'clock, at least, it's not the sun beating down on you like it is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
And the storms have usually passed by then.
That's true. That could be part of it, was why they did it as well. But yeah, so we'll talk about, obviously, there'll be a little bit of footage as you're watching this on YouTube of the parade going by. But we'll give some thoughts on the best parts of it for us and what we thought about it.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, the thing when you think about Ghostbusters, I think about the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and he was on full display on the Ghostbusters float, as well as Gozer.
Yeah.
Remember Gozer, that really scary looking. Well, it was a girl playing Gozer, but
Yeah. From Ghostbusters 2.
no, that was the first one.
Was it the first one?
Stay Puft and Gozer was the first one. What was his name in the second one? It was the guy in the painting.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Igor.
Igor.
Yeah. Trust me, I've seen these.
Okay,
movies.
I believe you. No, Stay Puft. Well, I don't. As a kid, I actually had some nightmares about Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, you did?
I did. I had nightmares about him and Smurfs.
Oh.
I had a nightmare. I remember it vividly of waking up and Smurfs picked me up out of my bed and carried me away, and they were giant Smurfs. And I woke up. I think I was like 7. I woke up, freaked out, and ran to my parents' room, and I was like, "Smurfs picked me up," and freaked out.
Aww.
I still remember that dream though. Like I remember it like freaking me out.
How do you feel about Smurfs now?
They're small. They're fine.
Okay.
I could take.
It didn't look
Listen,
for you.
I could take them now. Okay, I could. I was 7 at the time, but yeah, the Stay Puft Marshman, that was cool. The Ghostbusters one was really good because they had a guy that looked like Dan Aykroyd. They had a guy that looked like Bill Murray. They had what was it? Vickman. Yes, they had him. So they had the ones. They looked a lot like the actual Ghostbusters, and they were. They had their Ghostbusters outfits. I always loved the Ghostbuster outfits and all the the guns and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool.
They also have the characters. I don't know what their characters' names are in the movie. I've completely forgotten, but they're played by Annie Potts and Rick Moranis.
Oh yes,
they're out there. They're walking around.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
On the back side of the float, they also had the compartment where they put the catcher in. It would like put the ghost inside the chamber or whatever.
It's like super interactive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they had that. So that I would say Ghostbusters was
really good.
It wasn't the number 1, but it was probably the second. It was really good.
Yeah. What was another one that you liked that was really good?
I mean, the T-Rex was awesome.
The T-Rex.
Jurassic Park. So I mean, to have a actual moving T-Rex as part of the float.
It was like a little puppet. Like
which it was so real, our son kind of got freaked out by it.
He started like hiding behind us. I was like, "Oh, bud, it's not real."
In his eye, I mean, listen.
Yeah.
It's a dinosaur, and it's coming down the street.
4, yeah.
He's like, "Dad, help me." I'm like, "I gotcha." But yeah, that one was cool. They had, some of the. I don't know if you've seen it when you can meet the Velociraptor. If the raptor is not working or they don't want to do it, they have them with like the baby raptors in their arms.
Oh yeah, they were walking.
They were walking around with those.
That was cool.
They had Owen. He was calm blue.
Did I miss him? I must not have been paying attention.
He was walking around. He's doing the hand up thing.
Okay.
Like stop right there.
Obviously the best float of the parade is the Back to the Future float.
I said number 1. Yeah, I mean for sure top 3. Back to the Future was really good.
I mean, you see the DeLorean going through, like behind it, going through like looks like a speaker, but it's like supposed to be like going back in time or whatever. Doc and Marty are like standing up. They're like just waving at everybody, like talking about like, "Woof, just came back from the past," or whatever.
Yeah.
And then on the side, it looks like the flux capacitor is up there. It's the display from the car, like the numbers. And then on one side it says Lone Pine, and on the other side of the float it says Twin Pines Mall.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I love it.
As the actual floats go, that one may have been the best one.
It was so good.
Because there was so much detail if you're a fan of the movie.
Yeah.
They had like the DeLorean. They had a lot of the elements from it were in there.
Of course.
They also had the people from Back to the Future 2, where they had the futuristic get up with like Biff's crew.
Yeah.
On like they kind of had hoverboards where they're driving around. So it looked like Biff and this crew.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. What about, did you like the Jaws?
The Jaws one was good. Obviously, it looked, it's got a giant shark, but it looked like there was the captain up top.
Mm-hmm. What's his name? I don't remember.
I can't remember his name. It's been a long time since I've seen Jaws, but he was very much in the role. Mm-hmm. Looked very much like the captain from the movie. And then you had the mayor going around basically telling everybody, "No, it's fine."
Of Amity, yeah.
Amityville, everything's fine, everything's good. Like he's playing this part, and and then they had I can't remember the character's name now. That was basically warning people of the shark coming. So they're going through the crowd,
and they're like arguing, and then you have the marching band, July 4th of parade marching band, from Amity, and like you're like, oh, this is so.
And they would interact.
Cool.
Like, there's somebody in the crowd being like, "There's a shark coming." The mayor would be like, No, they're not. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't listen to this man. Like
He's like gaslighting the crowd.
yeah, he's basically just
It's like, that's
He's
funny.
doing what the media does, just gaslighting you all over the place.
And then I really liked the ET float because, well, first of all, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, there's the Stranger Things. So, I mean, ET float because it's like the same era or whatever. But it looks like there's, they're on bikes, like right next to
There
the
are multiple
moon
bikes. Yeah, that was
and
cool.
the house. I mean, the way they did it was creative. It's like, how do you do ET unless you do like the Weird Planet?
They should just have him going ET and touching fingers, and then that's it, and just back and forth over and over again.
I don't know about that.
I'm not saying it'd be. I just think it would be hilarious. That's
Yeah.
all it was, but they didn't.
But they had kids like riding. I say kids. They were adults riding bicycles.
Look at
like,
that kid, that mid-20s kid.
Weren't kids. They were definitely adults that looked on the younger side.
Is that
obviously.
a small child?
That's
That's a grown man.
a
Sorry.
35-year-old man that's dressed like a 12-year-old. Yeah, totally.
I mean, that's what they used to do in movies.
I know.
They're like a high school movie, and they're like, aren't these people all 36 years old?
Yeah, and obviously they have the Trolls float, which is cute, and
The Trolls one was good. Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda, and like I'm not gonna, obviously we're not gonna say everything about these floats, and those are the big highlights for us. But one of those things that's really cool is that they are selling bubble wands that interact with the parade floats.
How did they actually interact?
So whenever like the Trolls float comes by and you have like Poppy, it'll vibrate, the lights come on, and it'll spin.
Only when Poppy comes by?
Well, that one was the most.
Oh,
so like
okay.
I think it depends on what float goes by that interacts with it or how it does it. But yeah, I know that one was like everything for that one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, that's cool. And those are like $30, by the way.
Reasonably priced.
I do have, okay, so what do you think of them? What do you think of the Universal parades, and this one specifically compared to say like a Disney parade?
So I will say first off, I'm not a parade person. Generally
That
speaking,
is shocking.
it's not something that I look forward to a lot. I enjoy. I thought the parade was good. I did. Some of the sound. Now I think they did it this way because in the Christmas parade they pumped the sound through the speakers that are like on the street, like everywhere, so you can hear it much better. They didn't do that this time, but they didn't do it because each float had its own music. So you had like Back to the Future and Jaws. So I think the sound could be a little improved. I think the way to do that they would probably have to upgrade speakers a bit. I don't think there's a way to change that music as they're coming down the street. I don't really know how they would work that out, but I think the sound could have been a bit different or better, I should say, because sometimes it was hard to hear until it was like right there, and it wasn't the best sounding. It was very tinny sounding because the speakers, I'm sure, just aren't as good as the ones that are in park.
It's interesting because it's not the loudest, and like I know it's like noise, what they call it, noise pollution, where it's like too many different noises. Okay, I know they want to prevent that, so I think that's also why they're more spread out.
I was gonna say they were spread out, but the parade wasn't too long. I didn't think it went on too long.
No,
I feel like the length of time was good.
Yeah,
I sometimes feel like parades can really drag on.
Yeah,
I'm just like, okay. As parades go, I enjoyed it. I mean, it has, again, you're talking about movies that you have nostalgia for, that it's cool seeing. Like, we no longer have a Back to the Future ride, so seeing Back to the Future in Sensational and in the parade is really cool. Seeing Ghostbusters, you can tell they put a lot of effort into like the casting. Like Marty McFly looked a lot like Michael J. Fox. They really got people that looked the part, and they acted the part, and you could just tell the effort is there for it. The floats were well done in terms of detail, and if you knew the Easter egg, if you know the movies, you see stuff in them, which I think is cool. So as parades go, I really liked it. I mean, I'm not going to say it's like the most amazing thing I've ever seen, but I think if you're into parades and if you like these movies, I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's very entertaining, and like, they really nags on the nostalgia for
sure.
Get those retro movies, and like you were saying with Sensational, doing it with that. Then they have the tribute store right now, so they're really diving into the nostalgia this summer and into the fall, which is great. I'm okay with that. I love all these movies. In fact, like the movies at Universal, I watched a lot more as a kid than I did at Disney, which is weird. Like Back to the Future is my favorite movie. Obsessed with Jurassic Park. I watched Ghostbusters a lot as a kid. Loved E.T. Jaws not so much, but like, yeah, it's so crazy. So anyway,
I think like I guess the downside to this one would be I don't know how much kids would enjoy it, given a lot of the movies are older movies. So obviously Trolls and like Kung Fu Panda, there is stuff in there for kids, but some of
these movies are so good that younger generations need to watch them and can appreciate.
No, I agree.
Too.
I'm talking kids ages. I know. Like 10 and under, they may not know, but like they still like a parade and the dancers interact with them and things and the people performing. So I suppose that would be the one downside is there's not a ton of stuff with kids. There was Minions as well. Did you mention that?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Minions.
But yeah, I mean, again, I thought it was really good. It was solid. I like Sensational much better as a show.
Oh, that's amazing.
I guess I would say. But as the parade goes, I was behind it. Yeah.
All right.
It gets the
stamp of approval.
Good. It gets the Jared thumbs up.
All right. Perfect.
Does it get the Jamie thumbs up?
Yeah. Oh. Good. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, guys.
You didn't say so.
I'm sorry. And I'm showing it now.
There you go.
All right. So besides the parade, we also were there to check out Hogwarts Always, a projection show on Hogwarts Castle. Now, that evening, our children were done. So Jared took them back to the room, and I went and watched one of the showings over on the Hogwarts Castle. Now, I happened to catch, I think I missed maybe the first 45 seconds of the show. But basically, it's a new show that takes you through a, quote, magical journey through a school year at Hogwarts. Enjoy unforgettable music and incredible moments of wizardry, all set against the majestic backdrop of Hogwarts Castle. So it runs a few times a night from dusk until park close, and it is scheduled to go until August 25th. I don't know if it'll be extended any farther than that. I don't know. Do the Dementors come out over there?
They will. Well, I don't know if they do.
For Halloween time?
Do they over there? I don't
think they do.
It's on Island side, though. Islands doesn't have.
They've done it in the past,
though. Okay. Well, I know they for sure do in Diagon Alley.
They do in Diagon Alley. I'm wondering. Okay. Anyway, so August 25th is when you can for sure see it. And what's cool about this show is that obviously the projections are amazing, and they did upgrade them a little bit. They cover more of a surface area of the castle, and they're a little bit clearer than they have been before, which is cool. But part of the story is that at the end of the projection show, the winner of the Triwizard Cup that they have at Hogwarts changes every show. So it'll change depending on what house, just filter through the houses. So whenever I was there, Ravenclaw won, and it flipped to blue. You saw the emblem and everything, and it looked like it was raining down blue.
Ridiculous. Ravenclaw would never win.
Well, I'm just saying. It did. And then as soon as it was over, I actually got in line for Hagrid's. And while I was in line, I could kind of see the show again. And that time, the second time I watched it, the winner was Slytherin. I was like, oh, they do change it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you got to catch this show. It's
How long is the show?
7 minutes.
And they do this for same thing with Christmas. They kind of have more frequent shows because again they have less crowd space back here. They can't really.
It was very chaotic.
It always is because they got people trying to go. If you're trying to go to an attraction, you go on this side. If you're staying for the show, you got this side. And there's not a lot of room back there to begin with.
That's exactly what they did. What he just said. If you are going to the attraction, stay on the left. If you want to watch the projection show, go to the right.
Yeah,
it's
so they kind of do frequent shows, but it is cool. Like in the Christmas show. Seen the projections onto the Hogwarts Castle. Yeah. So did you like it better than the Christmas show?
I don't know if I liked it better. I liked it about the same. I mean, they're entertaining shows. I like them. I like the music. This one having the added element which house is going to win is a little bit better.
True.
So
gives a little bit of a randomization. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens in the thing? Do they have a Quidditch match going on?
Yeah, it take you through the school year, eating in the hall and doing the dance and Triwizard tournament with Quidditch and all that stuff.
I love a good Triwizard tournament.
I tell you what. So was great. I'll catch it again.
Okay. Well, I would like to see
No
it. Like I said, it was your birthday the next day,
Yeah.
so I was like, you go do that, and I took the children and
Yep.
wrestled with them in the room until they got tired and they could go to bed.
Yep. And then like I said, I got in line for Hagrid's and waited 70 minutes for my chance to ride it. But it was worth it because I got in first line or very first car. So front row in the dark. Pretty sweet.
I've never gotten to ride it in the dark. Probably more thrilling, I would say.
I don't know if that's for you. I don't know if you're about that life.
Don't tell me what I'm about.
I mean,
How dare
I
you?
know you. So
You act like you've been married to me and like you know things about me.
for how long has it been? When did we get married?
I don't
2010.
know. 26 years.
Almost 14 years.
Close enough.
Anyway.
All right.
Well, that is all we have for the show today. That's all we got.
That is
all
it.
the news.
I feel
all the
like
stuff.
it was a lot, though.
Yeah. No, we've been doing the show like twice a month for a while, and I was like, man, how are we gonna fill 2 shows every month? And I'm like, oh no, we have lots to talk about.
I told you.
We're good.
I remember you saying that, and I went, well, you just wait. Because eventually,
Yeah.
I will just go ahead and say this. Once Epic Universe opens, this will
Yeah.
become a weekly show. Because
how are we gonna cover everything if we don't? You know what I mean?
it's actually just going to become an Epic Universe show.
It is not. I mean, when it first opens, yeah, we'll focus heavily on it, but
We will cover a lot. But
Lots.
obviously, with Epic Universe, I mean, it changes a lot of things. So this will become a weekly show once that does open. And I'm very much looking forward to the final land preview video that they're going to do, that they've been doing with these. I think they're probably going to do this around D23. That's what I would do. If I was Universal in this spot, I'd be like, go ahead, Disney, announce whatever you're going to announce, and then whatever bump they get from it, like an hour later, just be like, cool, boom, here's this. Because they still haven't given us any details really about the Ministry of Magic Land in there.
Yeah.
And that elevator ride, or the rumored elevator ride. They haven't said anything about that. So they could pull that out, and then on top of that, say it's going to open in March or whenever it's going to open, give more details. And I think they would suck all the oxygen out of whatever announcement that Disney made.
yeah, I think you're right.
So that's what I would guess they would do there. But so waiting on that, and a lot of stuff coming up in the next. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of. Once that gets announced, it's going to be a lot of hype building up until it opens.
Yeah, probably.
And I will probably contribute to that a lot.
Okay. Well, we have one more topic episode. That'll be the next one that comes out. I don't know which one yet, but the one after that is with us. But the one after that will be about the Behind the Screams to Halloween Horror Nights tour, which we've never done before. So I literally just burped. Did you hear it?
I did.
Oh, shit. So we're really ramping up the Halloween Horror Nights stuff coming up too. So
Lots of stuff. Then you got Christmas, and
stuff.
yeah, it'll be good. So
Yep. Well, that's all we have for the show today. Thank you, obviously, for watching or listening. Like we said, if you are listening and you want to watch us, you go to YouTube, check out our YouTube channels, CTM Podcast and Cap the Magic over there. We also have the Disney World show that we do on Thursdays. Jared and I do that. We also have Trip Tales, which I have once a month with a guest that takes a trip to Disney World or Universal or both, and we talk all about that. I will have 2 episodes of that coming out in August. I will not have one this month because of all the crazy travel scheduling, but I will make it up to you. And if you do want to be a guest on a future episode, please go to ctmtriptales.com and fill out the form. And if your trip lines up with what I'm looking for, I will get back to you. What else? Find us on social media. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all Cap the Magic, except for TikTok, we are Capture the Magic. And you can follow us over there. That would be great. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
All right. I was just trying to go really fast with it. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching or listening. And thank you, Jared, for being here. As always. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you give yourself applause?
I didn't do anything. People clapped.
You're like Lady Gaga over here.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Anyway, thank you for being here, Jared.
You're welcome.
And as I always like to say, we will see you in the parks.
Bye.